Saturday, April 23rd, 2016, 7:44 a.m. Just woke up, still in my bedroom, but then again, I was up all night pissing. Only thing on the ceiling light right now. Look at this. Those no life having bitches got it, so my body won't accept water. Whenever I drink water, I get up and just keep pissing all fucking night.
Low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high potassium in your blood. Ask your heart doctor about Entresto at Health Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, Hear ye, 400 years ago today, William Shakespeare passed away, leaving behind a legacy of romantic quotes and phrases around the world. People are celebrating this iconic wordsmith today, and we thought we'd get on the action as well. As one of our producers found out, his words apparently bear a striking resemblance to some Taylor Swift lyrics. So we're going to play a little game here. Shakespeare or T. Swift lyrics. Let's do it. You ready? First one up. Now, here it is. Romeo, take me somewhere we can be alone. Who said it?
That is Taylor Swift.
That is Tay-Tay.
Yeah.
Who is it, guys? Who is it? Yes.
Yeah. I think they put the stars off with the road united. Now we'll have that song. All right, here's the next one. Don't waste your love on somebody who doesn't value it.
Chanel Jones.
Shakespeare.
I want to say Shakespeare, just to be different.
All right, that's the answer.
Shakespeare. I thought she was Shakespeare the
It would work as a lyric, too. Okay, next up. You with your words like knives and swords and weapons that you use against me.
That's Taylor.
Taylor Swift.
I heard that.
Shakespeare.
What is that?
Yeah, this is a good one.
I knew it.
It's Taylor.
I know.
Here's
Where's
another
Taylor
one.
Swift just said?
One more, go ahead.
This is love all, trust a few. Love all.
That's Shakespeare.
And I think there's another part of that line, too, that we left out.
You know what it is? It's the phrasing of it. It sounds kind of whiny and songy, but that's what it is. Can I say that? Lyrically,
You called her
I
white.
didn't say whiny. Here's the
Don't
next
tweet
one.
me.
Faithful friends are hard to find. T. Swift.
I think that's
I'm saying Shakespeare, because that's deep. I mean, I messed all of these up. That's it. Oh my, what a marvelous tune.
Shakespeare.
I'm going Shakespeare. I'm going T. Swift. I'm saying Shakespeare because...
Oh, you got that one right.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, that was different.
Oh my.
What song is that?
Oh my sounds Shakespearean.
It rains when you're here, and it rains when you're
Oh,
gone.
that's some T. Swift right there.
It does sound like Taylor Swift.
Yeah, just a bit different.
Sounds like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. All right, here's the last one. The course of true love never did run smooth. T. Swift.
I don't, that's too good for never. No,
T.
that's,
Swift. That's supposed to be.
no, that's,
You just said, oh, now email. Greg.
that was like a Shakespeare there.
That was difficult.
That was harder than you would.
I wonder how Shakespeare would feel.
Not happy.
Think you would go, I feel like he would still feel relevant to his day.
Still ahead here. One man's life-changing transformation after losing hundreds of pounds. How he is inspiring others to lose weight as well. But first, hear ye. This is Today on ABC.
This means that Taylor Swift is
primary elections. It all starts with a Commitment 2016 special Monday night at 7. Get late-breaking updates as Maryland prepares to head to the polls. Then, Tuesday is primary day. It's a special edition of 11 News beginning at 4 p.m., followed by live, local, late-breaking election updates throughout the night. Then at 10, 11 News breaks down all the primary results. Get unmatched Commitment 2016 coverage on 11 News and the 11 News app.
Orioles Royals. The series continues tonight at 6:30 on NESN.
If only I had a math test today.
Hope you'll give me a chance. There's a reason I'm not taking a set.
You guys are kind of rocking and rolling, no pun intended, but you, a lot of folks are taking to this craze.
Yeah, it's amazing. We opened just about 2.5 years ago in Baltimore. First spin studio in the city, and the community's embraced it. It's been great.
Okay, and they've embraced it so much you're expanding, we hear?
We are. We're opening a second location this year in Canton. And we're pretty excited about that. Getting ready to break ground and start construction. So, yeah, it's exciting.
Wow. So talk to us. Rachel's been on this, and she's been kind of just rolling. But you said this is intimidating for a lot of people that come in initially, but you say it really doesn't need to be.
It doesn't. So, when you have amazing instructors like Rachel taking you through the classes, it's just a really great experience. You go at your own pace. You control how hard you want to go, how hard you want to work. It's a 45-minute class. We do beginner classes as well, so we've got one coming up on May 15th with what we call Rev 101. And we take you through the basics and get you comfortable with the bike and the setup and the hand positions and how that works. Rachel can kind of share with you guys how we take the clients through a ride.
Yeah, and the great thing about Rev 2 is it's really different than going to just the Marriott or another, just gym around Baltimore, because they really specialize in cycling, and they also have these monitors. So every class before we start, we take our clients through the different RPMs, the resistance. So you really kind of get an intro every time you come, and it's nice and dark in the studio, so you really are able to tap into your own internal mindset, and it's kind of like a personal journey for every class.
Makes watching these little wheels on. They come with an unbelievable 5-year guarantee. So call or click now.
Call 1-800-518-5530 to get your Wolf Washer 360. Call now or go to wolfwasher.com. So call 1-800-518-5530. That's 1-800-518-5530. This offer is not available in any store. Call now.
Frustrated by acne treatments that don't deliver fast results? Now discover Epiclar System, winner of the Allure Best of Beauty Award for Best Acne.
For more power and more runtime than any previous model.
Not to mention other trimmers on them.
So you can cover larger areas.
Battery life. I love this. The power's great. This lithium battery is probably the closest thing to a gas-powered one that you'll get from a rechargeable battery.
It's funny, I've got bigger than my previous gas trimmer. It does everything that the other things do, and better.
The Jeep.
Dale, never left it as far as the people in this town never know.
N'avez pas peur. Tout va bien. Je suis anglais. Non, c'est vrai, mademoiselle. C'est vrai.
That strength to work for us, protecting women from domestic violence, taking on the NRA.
But more importantly, how proud their spouses and families are.
I'm already kind.
Friend number 1, friend number 2. There you go. Friend number 3. See him?
Look at him all.
Somebody's peeing.
There he is.
Not too much excitement.
Can I just stand here and quietly cry?
Yeah.
Look at that. He's with other dogs.
I told you I was going to throw you a party.
Non-stop dog party.
What is that? Muncie just went inside.
Muncie, why are you part of this? Come on in. There we go.
He's overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Muncie is a little bit more like, okay, this is not normal. For him, this is normal to him now. But as you see, Muncie is head down, ears way back. He doesn't know what to do. But look, see this. So this is actually normal, just for you guys to see this whole thing. This guy was the most friendly when we got here, and now, because his brother is acting completely different, he doesn't know really how to deal with it. That's actually good. It's a good challenge, you know, the mind have to learn how to deal with it. What happens is, after they see that nothing bad happens, that's when they relax.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like Deuce got to go to summer camp, and he's come home with all sorts of cool stories and crafts that he made. Muggs is going like, wish I got to go to summer camp.
Yeah, that's good. That's huge progress right there.
Yeah. When I saw Deuce as part of Caesar's pack, I lost it. I never thought such a thing was possible.
For him, okay, this is friends. He trusts them. He respects them. He's loyal to them. So this is a pack. And this is his human pack. Now he has 2 families.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One big happy.
Yeah.
He was with the group. He was friends with them all. It was like, it was our boy, but he was also a completely different dog.
Let's go for a walk. Go for a walk. Take everybody on the walk. We're walking 5 doors with 1 hand and 1 state of mind.
Now they can just come out and enjoy the day. And we know that Deuce needs exercise, and we know that he will be happy to be obedient, and that he wants to be.
Yeah.
He's actually a good dog. Hey, what a remarkable discovery. Who knew?
Yeah.
And it only took him a few days to find it.
There are 5 dogs. We walk 5 dogs.
And it feels like there's nothing there.
No.
They're being really good.
You know, we're going to keep in mind things that Caesar taught us as far as
By the money guys of Everest Wealth Management.
Deli lovers with Constant Contact email marketing. His professional emails show off his sandwich selection and his office catering menu. And Sal knows it works. Those customers didn't make Sal their go-to guy because he's full of baloney. Sal's a marketer. And all it took was Constant Contact. Try it free at ConstantContact.com.
If you're doing everything right, but find it harder and harder to get by,
13 minutes, you see the bitch turning up already, don't you?
I approve this message because together we can make a political revolution and create an economy and democracy that works for all, and not just the powerful few.
Want a new car for $219 a month with no money down? Taste, where $219 a month buys a new Jeep Patriot or sporty Dodge Dart with no money down. $219 a month, no money down. No, it's not a lease. And Tate has 7 at this payment during our spring clearance. Let's recap. $219 a month, no money down, not a lease.
For a friendly no pressure deal on Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Ram, think green. Shop Tate.
That neighborhood that I grew up in was filled with violence. David didn't have the fear that most people have. David Warnock would come through there. People actually started taking a liking to him. He's the perfect person for me. He can connect and bridge a gap between different communities.
Tuesday, for the latest election results, it's WJZ.
Catch a new NCIS LA, CBS Monday at 10/9 Central.
It's April 23rd, 2016. Welcome to CBS This Morning, Saturday. Breaking news overnight as police in Ohio track a killer who murdered 8 people in 4 different locations. Plus, new information on the death of Prince, when he was last seen alive, and why authorities are ruling out foul play.
What really wiped out the dinosaurs? New information that they were doomed long before the asteroids arrived. And inside the company that just got a near $1 billion investment to bring special effects into your home.
But we begin this morning with a look at today's eye-opener, your world in 90 seconds.
We've never had a shooting with 8 victims, ever.
Mass murder in Ohio. Who did it? That's a mystery.
Police say whoever killed 8 people is considered armed and dangerous.
It would appear that all of them were shot in the head.
A mass manhunt in Georgia is over after the suspected gunman in the deaths of 5 people is found dead.
Autopsy complete on the body of Prince.
We have no reason to believe at this time it's a suicide. The rest of it's under investigation.
President Obama talking about Prince's death on a trip to London.
We played Purple Rain and Delirious just to get warmed up.
Adorable moment was shared between President Obama and Prince George. He's just like picture perfect, is he not?
In China, a chemical plant that has a fire, and then watch what happens right here, that massive explosion. That's not good.
The hole in the ceiling of a parking garage swallowing a tanker truck in Houston.
A backyard surprise in Houston today where a family found an alligator taking a dip in their pool. That'd be a little freaky.
Folks up for some skilled little doggies.
Check out these pups that we're riding the surfboard.
All that
It's a triple play for the Sox. Bases loaded, bases clean.
and all that matters. On CBS this morning, Saturday.
Is it just an act?
Build the wall.
He needed to take out 17 guys, so he had to be, some elbows.
If I was totally presidential, we have 10,000 people here or something, I'd have about 300 and you'd be falling asleep after 20 minutes.
It's like the way Keanu Reeves can do a British accent for a little while.
And welcome to the weekend, everyone. Later on, Vanina will take you inside a building that looks more like the Great Gatsby's home than a restaurant, which is what it currently houses. Find out where it is and the incredible story behind its creation.
Plus, Harlan Coben is a best-selling mystery author, but his latest offering is a children's book. Find out how one woman's art became his inspiration.
And Bonnie Raitt is on Rolling Stone magazine's lists of top 100 singers of all time and top 100 guitarists of all time. We'll catch up with her about her new album and tour, and she will perform in our Saturday session. But first, breaking news overnight, an intensive manhunt is on for the suspect in the execution-style shooting deaths of 8 family members in Ohio. The shootings were in 4 different locations near the town of Piketon, about 60 miles south of Columbus. David Begnaud is in Piketon with the latest. David, good morning.
Anthony, good morning. At least 30 people were questioned within the last 12 to 24 hours following the deaths of 8 members of one family, the Roden family, here in Pike County, Ohio. In fact, our CBS affiliate WBNS in Columbus has obtained exclusive cell phone video showing one man being detained at gunpoint, taken into custody. He is one of the 30 people who has been questioned by authorities. But this morning, there is no suspect. There is no person of interest. There is no one that police are pointing the public to as to say, we are looking for this individual. The sheriff and even the state attorney general have gone so far as to say there may be more than one suspect.
When this investigation is complete, it's going to point us in the direction that we need to go, and we'll find who did this.
We do not know whether we're talking about one individual or 2 or 3 or more. We simply do not know that at this point.
8 members of the Roden family, all shot and killed according to authorities. In fact, one of the family members, we're told, was a mother who was in bed with her 4-day-old infant. That mother shot and killed the 4-day-old infant, snuggled alongside the mother, actually was unharmed. 2 other children were not hurt. Authorities have been very clear in saying they do not believe this is a case of suicide. They don't think it is a murder-suicide. They are actively looking for a shooter or shooters as of this morning. Anthony, the local sheriff here in Pike County, Ohio, said that all of the family members were killed in bed. Some of them, it appears they put up a struggle when they were shot and killed. The others, the sheriff says, were shot and killed in their sleep.
Horrible story. David Begnaud in Piketon, Ohio. Thanks, David. Also breaking overnight, authorities say a man suspected of killing 5 people in a pair of shootings apparently took his own life. Police identified the gunman as Wayne Hawes. They say the shootings in Appling, Georgia, northwest of Augusta, stemmed from a domestic dispute. It's believed Hawes knew all of the victims, 3 men and 2 women.
It may be a while before we know Prince's cause of death, but some possible causes have now been ruled out. Prince was found unresponsive in his home on Thursday in a Minneapolis suburb known as Chanhassen. Dean Reynolds is in that area with the latest. Dean, good morning.
Good morning. Well, as you can see, the memorial to Prince outside his home here continues to grow, as do those questions surrounding his death just 2 days ago.
Amid the very real grief of this community, Prince's body was turned over to his family on Friday after an autopsy that may reveal more about what killed him, but not for a while. Carver County Sheriff Jim Olson.
This will continue to be an open investigation until the autopsy results come back.
That could take days or even weeks.
Dearly beloved, we have gathered here today to get through this thing called life.
And for a rock star who reveled in the adulation of fans by the millions, word that he died alone in his sprawling residence and recording studio made his passing seem all the more tragic. The sheriff said there were no signs of trauma on the body, which was clothed and slumped in a first-floor elevator when staffers, who had been unable to reach him, came to the home Thursday morning and found him unresponsive. Authorities said they have no reason to believe this was a suicide, but it is known that Prince had health problems. When reporters asked if he'd been taking some medication at the time of his death, the sheriff would say only this.
I am not able to confirm that at this time at all. We'll be talking to people that are close to him. We'll be gathering some medical records and taking a look at those between us and the medical examiner's office.
Some of those medical records are certain to include a file from a hospital in Moline, Illinois, where Prince's charter jet en route to Minneapolis from Atlanta made an emergency landing last week. After treatment there for what aides said was the flu, Prince tweeted, "I am transformed. The last time anyone saw him alive was at his compound when friends dropped him off Wednesday night."
Now, there are still a large number of unreleased songs by Prince and plenty of questions about his estate, whether he left a will, for example, that could produce a real battle for control of his musical legacy. Anthony?
Thanks, Dean Reynolds in the Minneapolis suburb of Chanhassen.
Meanwhile, fans continue to pay tribute to Prince. At Concert Hall in Los Angeles, nearly 1,000 high school students took part in an organized sing-along of Prince's signature song. At the nearby Museum of Art, fans were given the opportunity to actually walk through the Purple Rain. The Rain Room exhibit allows visitors to walk through a simulated downpour without getting wet. As you can see, it was bathed in purple light as a tribute to Prince. Sales of Prince's music are topping digital download charts, and starting tonight, AMC Theaters will show Prince's Oscar-winning movie, Purple Rain, in some select theaters.
President Obama is in London this morning, wrapping up his 3rd and final day there. While much of his visit included socializing with the British royal family, there also was sharp criticism when the president's attention turned to political affairs. Margaret Brennan's traveling with the president. She's in London. Margaret, good morning.
Good morning. Well, President Obama spent his morning here in London visiting the historic Globe Theatre to mark the 400th anniversary of Shakespeare's death. This is all part of a European tour to mark the final year of his presidency. When President Obama and the First Lady arrived at Kensington Palace Friday evening, 2-year-old Prince George, up past his usual bedtime, thanked them for the rocking horse they sent to celebrate his birth. Earlier that day, his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, toasted her 90th birthday with the first family at Windsor Castle. 94-year-old Prince Philip even drove them to lunch.
I have never been driven by a Duke of Edinburgh before, and I can report that it was very smooth riding.
The president had spent most of the afternoon alongside Prime Minister David Cameron, who he's trying to help win a tough upcoming vote to determine whether Britain remains part of the European Union.
The United Kingdom is at its best when it's helping to lead a strong Europe.
Well, America has given up.
But the president's strong endorsement drew criticism from the London mayor Boris Johnson that he was meddling in British affairs. Johnson blasted him as a bully, even claiming his half-Kenyan heritage made him resentful of the United Kingdom due to its colonial past. Mr. Obama rejected the notion that he was interfering in British affairs.
This is a decision for the people of the United Kingdom to make. I'm not coming here to fix any votes. I'm not casting a vote myself.
On a day when many were mourning the death of Prince, President Obama said he too paid his respects. Prince passed away. You were a fan. You had invited him to perform at the White House. Can you tell us what made you a fan?
I love Prince because he put out great music. It so happens our ambassador has a turntable, and so this morning we played Purple Rain and Delirious just to get warmed up before we left the house for important bilateral meetings like this.
Now, the president did make his case again today for the UK to remain part of an EU during a town hall with British youth. Tomorrow, he heads to Germany for an important meeting with Chancellor Angela Merkel.
Great question to ask him there, Margaret. A candid response. Margaret Brennan in London this morning. Thank you. Donald Trump's new campaign manager is promising Republican Party leaders to get ready for a softer, more presidential frontrunner. But with 5 primaries set for Tuesday and the ongoing knock-em-out, drag-em-out fight for the party's nomination, the new Donald has yet to emerge. Weijia Jiang is in our Washington bureau with the latest on that. Weijia, good morning.
Good morning, Vanita. Donald Trump's explanation for staying outspoken is simple. He says his trumped-up attitude has carried him to the verge of the nomination. Trump's top rival, Ted Cruz, says recent promises that Trump will soon change his style means he's been, quote, lying to us.
Let's have some fun. It's Friday. Let's have some fun.
No sign of a tamer Donald Trump at this Delaware rally on Friday.
These guys, think of this. Trump against Clinton. How about this? Lying Ted Cruz. No good. Doesn't work.
The Republican presidential frontrunner called on his opponents to give up with familiar bravado.
Now I'm left with sort of like 2 guys. Hardly 2 guys. There's no path. I mean, you could say 1.5 maybe. Maybe we should say 1.5. Maybe you could really say 1, a half, and a half, okay? They should both get out. They should. They should both get out.
Just hours earlier, his chief advisor, Paul Manafort, told Republican insiders Trump was ready to tone down his rowdy ways.
Donald Trump speaks in very broad brush and says some pretty controversial things. I think what Manafort was trying to say is they understand that a general election is very different.
But Trump says for now, he's still in primary mode.
I don't want to be too presidential yet. Don't worry. Hey, being presidential for me is much easier than doing this. Thank you so much.
His closest rival, Ted Cruz, is using the Trump campaign's promise of a new candidate as a chance to attack Trump's sincerity.
They brought in an army of lobbyists who are running the entire campaign. Yesterday, they were down in Florida meeting with party leaders, and they were saying, these are their words, that all of this is just a show. That he doesn't believe anything he's saying. He's just trying to fool gullible voters.
Advisors are planning to use some other tools to tweak Trump's image. On Wednesday, he's scheduled to deliver his first speech on foreign affairs, meant to add some gravitas to the campaign. And a new TV ad depicts Trump as a father and a grandfather, showing a softer side. Anthony?
Weijia Jiang in Washington. Thanks, Weijia.
Hillary Clinton says she has a new plan for taking on Republican frontrunner Donald Trump and his steady stream of insults. During a campaign stop outside Philadelphia on Friday, the former Secretary of State says she no longer sees them as attacks on her, but on other people as well.
I'm not going to respond to what he says about me. I'm going to respond to what he has said about women in general. I'm going to respond to what he has said about immigrants. I'm going to respond to what he has said about Muslims. I'm going to respond on behalf of all the people that have been the target of his hatred and his demagoguery.
Clinton says the tone of the presidential campaign must change, and that while disagreements are fair game, personal attacks are not. It stands to be a busy weekend for all 5 presidential candidates as they set their sights on the 5 northeastern primaries this coming Tuesday and beyond. For more on that, we turn to Ozzie Pyborough, a senior political reporter at Politico New York. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Let's start off just with this general notion of tone.
Right.
What do you make of Donald Trump at this point saying, the guy you got used to isn't the real me? If I move forward, you'll see a different side.
Right. That's probably the only thing he can say at this point. People have known him, and he's benefited from making these outrageous remarks. So how does he go into a convention where elites and the party establishment is worried about him, along with his rivals? Well, his only answer is to say, well, I was doing that just to get ahead. The real me, wait till you see him. That's probably the only thing he can say in order to pivot so quickly.
Which also begs the next question, which would be then, what is the real you?
Right. The people that Donald Trump has gotten in his corner, they were energized by these remarks that he made. It got him a lot of attention. The media focused on it. And now he's going to have to say something else if he's going to go into November against Hillary Clinton.
What do you think is going to happen on April 26th? We mentioned 5 eastern states. Do you think there will be a blowout in any of the states?
He's expected to do very well. And Ted Cruz, who is looking for some avenue to go into the convention, cutting into Trump's lead, he's going to sort of write off this area by saying, you know, the New York media market, they've gotten to know Trump, and he is really looking forward towards Indiana and Washington where he could possibly do better, but his window of opportunity is closing with each passing primary.
All 3 candidates have spent a lot of time in Pennsylvania. What's at stake there?
You have, I believe, you have about 100 delegates in those primary states that are going up. But what you really have is this argument that if Cruz can cut in to voters there that care about the economy, it's not the kind of like religious voters that you were seeing out in Ohio. If he can make inroads there, he has momentum to go into California with a better argument.
In the months past, we heard so much about the possibility of a contested convention. It seems like now people are saying maybe this is something that won't happen. What do you think is going to happen, especially after New York?
Well, Trump is trying to tamp down the talk of a contested convention, right? Although you have some of his supporters making outrageous remarks to party officials there, threatening them or at least saying, hey, look, we're going to be incredibly unhappy if things don't turn our way, wink, wink. Cruz needs to go into the convention, along with Kasich, by saying, look at all this trouble, think about November, come to us. And Trump is trying to make the argument that even if he doesn't get 1237, he is the guy that has won by the current rules, and therefore it would be unfair to change them or to somehow circumvent the will of the voters. He's going to be the populist going in there.
Let's look at the Democrats now. Hillary Clinton with a wide lead in delegates, Bernie Sanders still in the race. Does a prolonged campaign damage her if, in fact, she gets the nomination?
She's trying to do everything she can to sort of make this a friendly contest. Her entire argument has been, I'm with Sanders, I'm a little bit better than him, but we agree on the big issues, and we're just going to have a little bit of a disagreement on how to get there. And when she disagreed with him, she's talking about things in the past. She's talking about his votes here, and she's saying, look at my record, but going forward, we're much more likely we're different.
Is this going to be a peaceful convention?
Not as peaceful as the Hillary people would want, but it is not as contentious.
Play Purple Rain at 87 screens across the U.S. starting this weekend. And that's not all. The Cannes Film Festival just said it will host a tribute to pay homage to Prince.
33 minutes. I'm going to stop so I can take them off from last night.